Okay, there I am. So, just explained to you about the pine tree, and I was going to show you a little bit more about it. You can see how big around this pine tree is. To show you, it's my hand right here. So it is a big round pine tree. This pine tree was probably planted about 30 years ago. Now, you know the fruit of an apple tree is the apple. The fruit of the pine tree is a pine cone. Some years they're really, really pretty, and some years they're just really weird looking. So, okay. So, I wanted to tell you a little bit. Let me go over here and cop a squat. And I wanted to tell you the story about a sticky pine. And this is a folk tale. We talked about those last year. How sometimes you will have animals that talk in a folk tale, or you might have trees. I think the tree talks in this one too. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about this story, about this pine tree. It's called the Sticky Pine. Once there was a woodcutter. He was very poor, but he was very kind. Never would he tear off the living branches of a tree to make firewood. Instead, he would gather all the dead branches on the ground. He knew what happened when you tore the branches off a tree. The sap, which we just talked about, the sticky stuff, which was the blood of the tree, would drip and drip and drip, just like the poor tree was bleeding. So, since he didn't want to harm the trees, he never tore off branches. One day, he was walking beneath the big pine tree, hunting for firewood, when he heard a voice saying, "Sticky, sticky is my sap, for my tender twigs are snapped." The woodcutter looked around, and sure enough, someone had broken tree limbs off of the pine tree, and the sap was running out. So he skillfully mended it, means he fixed the tree, saying, "Now these tender twigs I'll wrap, and in that way I will stop the sap." So he fixed the tree where it wouldn't die. Got a mosquito on me, hold on. Okay, now it's gone. All right. To do this, he tore a part of his own clothing to make a bandage for it. No sooner had he finished that many, many tiny gold pieces and silver fell from the tree. It was money, a lot of it. Remember, he was poor. The surprised woodcutter was almost covered in money. He looked at the tree and he smiled. Mosquito got me. And he thanked it. And then he took the money home. There was a great amount, and he slowly realized that he was a very rich woodcutter now. So then he was in his house, and he looked up, and a face appeared in the window. It was the face of another woodcutter, but this woodcutter, he wasn't nice or kind. In fact, he was the one that tore the branches off the tree and almost killed the tree. But when he saw the money, mosquitoes after me, he came in and he said, "Where'd you get all that money? And look how nice and bright it is." The good woodcutter held up the money so the other could see. It was an oblong shape. That's how oblong means, like an egg. That's how their money used to look way back then, okay? And he had 5 basketfuls with it. So he told the woodcutter how he got the money. He said, "I got it from that big pine tree." "Yeah, that's where I got it, the big pine tree." Said the bad woodcutter, and he ran away as fast as he could. He ran straight up to that old pine tree, and the tree said, "Sticky, sticky is my blood. Touch me and you'll receive a flood." "Oh, just what I want," the bad man said. "A flood of gold and silver." He reached up and broke off another branch. the pine tree suddenly, wait a minute. Okay, I couldn't find my dog. The pine tree suddenly showered him with not money, but sticky sap. You remember, I told you about my grandkids getting it on, and it's so hard to get off, but he had it. It was just pouring over the top of him. The bad woodcutter was covered in the sap, got in his hair, on his arms, on his legs, and since it was so sticky, he couldn't move. And though he called for help, no one could hear him. He had to remain there for 3 days. 1 day for each branch that he pulled off the tree, until the sap was soft enough where he could drag himself home. And after that, he never broke another branch off of a living tree. So let me ask you some questions about this. There's my dog. Okay. Why did the tree, hold on. Sorry about that. Why did the tree shower the woodcutter with sap instead of money? Why did the bad woodcutter not get any money? Think about that. Turn and talk to your partner. And if you said he broke off a branch and he didn't mend it, meaning he didn't fix it, and he was not nice to the tree, so the tree wanted to teach him a lesson. All right. Now, next question. Do you think this folktale could have really happened? Turn and talk. And what do we think? No. Trees don't give money to people. If they would, I'd be rich with these big old trees in my yard. It'd be nice. But they don't give money to people. This is just a story. So why do you think the writer wrote this story? Why did he write this story to teach people about? Do you think he wanted people to do kind things, and that way people were rewarded for doing kind things? And those who are greedy can get punished? I think that might be it. Just like when we do something really good in class, or we help people in the hall, and a teacher might give you maybe a little piece of candy or stickers, or they might just say thank you so much. We get rewarded that way, and it's always good to be able to get rewarded. So I appreciate y'all listening to me, and I'm going to get inside because the mosquitoes are eating me up. They're eating me up because of this creek back here. Doesn't have a lot of water in it, and they like to sit there on the creek. Before I back up to my house, though, I wanted to introduce y'all to somebody that stands in my backyard all the time. And he's another type of a mythical folktale character, okay? Hold on just a minute, and I'll show you. He's over by another pine tree, and he is Bigfoot. So he sits back here. I got Bigfoot parking only. So he's somebody that sits back here and he watches my back of my yard, make sure nobody gets in my yard. So I hope y'all enjoyed the story, and I didn't move the camera down a little too much. I got to go find my dog. He's done ran off somewhere. So have a great rest of the day, but don't chop any limbs off that sticky pine. Bye.